He was scammed out of all his life savings. She offered him a roof, but what he did to her heart? No one saw it coming. Stay till the end. Let's find out together. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so to get the latest Nigerian movies from us. Today, we'll be talking about a captivating new Nigerian movie that offers more than just entertainment. It's full of life lessons, so you definitely won't want to miss it. Let's dive in. The movie begins outside, where a group of journalists is seen trying to get answers from a young barrister named Dania. Her friend and co-worker, Esther, helps her respond to the press while shielding their boss from the media until Dania is safely inside her car. On that same day, a young man named Tobena appears furious. He has been trying desperately to reach his girlfriend, calling everyone he knows who might know her whereabouts, but he receives no helpful response. Meanwhile, he is stuck in a hotel he can no longer afford because he has no money. This financial crisis started when his girlfriend, Kate, broke up with him and left him stranded. Meanwhile, Dania and her friend are enjoying a lighthearted moment together. Dania, however, is not ready to open her heart to love or even see a therapist due to something painful from her past that still affects her deeply. One particular day, Tobena returns to the hotel where he had been staying, only to find that his belongings have been packed out because of the debt he owes. He tries to reason with the receptionist, but when he's ignored, he manages to compose himself and quietly leaves to avoid making a scene. Tobena then goes to his girlfriend's house, but the gatekeeper refuses to let him in since she isn't home. Tobena explains his situation, gives the gatekeeper some money, and leaves his number, asking to be informed when she returns. At one point, Tobena begins to reflect deeply on his past with his girlfriend. He recalls how they sold all his belongings in preparation to relocate to the UK. His plan was to surprise his mother with a new life abroad once he got there. After completing his education, he intended to bring both his mother and his girlfriend to live with him. He had even sold his house to a lawyer, Dania, although they had a minor disagreement during the sale. On the day he was supposed to leave, he thought about how much his girlfriend would miss him, unaware that she would soon betray him. Now, she has taken all his money and run away, leaving him with nothing. Tobena is heartbroken. That night, while still in distress, Tobena decides to ask the woman who bought his house, Dania, if she could let him stay the night, as he has nowhere else to go. Dania hears a strange noise at her gate that night and goes out cautiously to investigate. Tobena explains his situation through the gate. She eventually lets him in, but warns him sternly that he must leave by morning and never return. She instructs the gatekeeper to let him stay in the guardhouse for the night, which Tobena appreciates. It's truly a sad situation. Imagine a once successful man losing everything because of a poor choice in a partner. It reminds us how important it is to be careful about the people we allow into our lives. But let's continue watching to see whether Tobena will be able to rebuild his life. The next morning, Dania tells Esther everything that happened the night before. Esther feels sorry for Tobena, but Dania remains indifferent. She still remembers how arrogant he was when they first met, and that left a bad impression on her. Because of that, she doesn't care what happens to him. Later that same day, Tobena tries once again to visit his ex-girlfriend, but the gatekeeper refuses to let him in. This time, things almost escalate into a physical fight. That night, while sleeping in an unsafe location, two unknown men rob Tobena. By the time he wakes up, they've taken his phone and luggage. He is left completely helpless. That same night, Dania and Esther are about to leave the house when they see Tobena again. He pleads with them, explaining that he has just been robbed and has nowhere to go. Dania becomes furious and insists that he leave, even offering him some money. But Esther, moved by his condition, pleads on his behalf and suggests that Dania employ him. Dania finds it difficult to decide, but eventually she agrees to let him stay. Then the two women leave. The next day, Tobena tries to help by washing Dania's car. Instead of being pleased, she becomes angry and warns him never to touch her car again before driving off. Later that day, when Dania returns home, she discovers that Tobena has made a mess of her kitchen. She is furious and immediately sends him out of the house. She also vents her frustration to Esther, blaming her for convincing her to let Tobena stay in the first place. The following night, after Tobena helps open the gate for Dania, he brings her some clothes. However, she is displeased with the way he arranged them and warns him never to touch her things again before walking away. One morning, as Dania prepares for an important meeting, her car refuses to start. Tobena checks the vehicle and tells her the battery terminal needs replacement. He offers to take her to work and then fix the issue at the mechanic's shop. Dania agrees, and they leave together. Later that day, Tobena approaches Dania again. She warns him not to touch her belongings without permission. He apologizes for the kitchen incident and promises that nothing bad will ever happen to her as long as he is around. Dania, however, dismisses his words and doesn't take them seriously. Guys, if you were in Dania's shoes, would you help Tobena or simply ignore him? Looking at how things are unfolding, let's keep watching to see if he'll end up being thrown out again. One day, Dania returned from work and started complaining about Tobena because he wasn't there to open the gate for her. Then she remembered something he had once said, and they both laughed about it as they walked inside together. In the living room, Dania and Esther talked briefly about work, which had been stressful, but they had no other choice than to keep going. Dania wanted Esther to leave, and Esther agreed, partly because she didn't want to get into any argument with Dania, who was also her boss. Esther was also afraid of sleeping too early because of recurring nightmares. She had been avoiding seeing a therapist about it, so she left, and Dania went off to deal with herself. The next morning, as Dania was preparing to leave, she offered Tobena 50,000 to drive her to her destination. He accepted the offer and set aside his own plans for the day so he could go with her. On their way, Tobena suddenly stopped the car to harass a woman he mistook for his ex-girlfriend. This almost turned into a serious altercation, but it didn't escalate. When he got back into the car, Dania scolded him, insulted him, and told him to remind her to replace his wardrobe, as she felt embarrassed being seen in public with him. On a particular day, Tobena pleaded with Dania to act like his friend who was staying with him, because his mother, whom he hadn't seen or spoken to in a long time, was coming. Dania wasn't very comfortable with the idea, but agreed to play along. When Tobena's mother arrived, she was overjoyed to see Dania and even hugged her. She seemed to accept that Dania was the reason Tobena had been away. Later, in the room, Tobena begged Dania not to reveal the truth to his mother. Dania wanted him to tell her everything so she could leave, but he refused, saying his mother has high blood pressure and couldn't handle the shock. He promised not to disturb Dania and said he would sleep on the floor. Would you accommodate someone like that if you were Dania? Let's see how much longer she can tolerate him. That evening, Tobena's mother was enjoying Dania's favorite movie and was quite impressed. She told Dania a bit of her story, how she lost her husband and had to drop out of school in her first year. The two women bonded and enjoyed the time together. Later that night, while Tobena was looking through newspaper ads in search of a job, Dania had another nightmare. Tobena rushed in to wake her up and explained what he had been doing. The next morning, Tobena's mother made breakfast. Dania, suspecting the kitchen might be messy, went to check, but to her surprise, everything was in order. She was impressed that Tobena's mother already understood her preferences so well. Tobena, however, refused to eat, saying he was fasting. As Dania and Tobena were leaving, his mother opened the gate for them, which Dania didn't like. While they were on the way, she asked Tobena why he allowed that. He explained that his mother doesn't care about age or status when it comes to doing things for others, and that he was just trying to protect her good heart. He stopped the car and asked Dania to sit in the back seat, but she refused and chose to remain in the front with him. Back at home in the kitchen, Tobena's mother and Dania were enjoying their moment together. When Tobena walked in, his mother jokingly told him they should leave soon, especially after Dania accidentally injured herself. Later that day, Tobena was pretending to work on Dania's laptop when there was a knock on the door. It was his mother, coming to get her shower cap. She left after retrieving it. Tobena praised Dania's acting skills, and she reminded him that she only agreed because he truly loves his mother. The next morning, as Tobena was taking Dania to work, he received a call about a job interview. Dania was excited for him and also noticed he had a new phone. During the drive, he shared more of his past. He had been in a 2-year relationship with his girlfriend, and they were working together toward relocating abroad. He planned to finish his master's degree, get a job, and then bring both his girlfriend and his mother over. Sadly, he was duped by his girlfriend and her brother. Dania sympathized with him and praised his strength in trying to rebuild his life. Wow, people really go through a lot, and sometimes it seems almost impossible to rise again. But what you're about to see next will surprise you. One day, while Tobena was still searching for a job, his mother came in and saw newspapers scattered around. She assumed someone else was job hunting. She then told her son that her town meeting members lent her money for a flight to come see him because they were all worried about his disappearance. She also insisted she wasn't leaving anytime soon and even told Tobena to help massage Dania's back, which he did. At the office the next day, Dania shared everything that had been happening with Esther. Esther started teasing her and jokingly threatened to take Tobena for herself. Dania, playfully annoyed, chased her away as they laughed and enjoyed their moment. That night, Dania had another nightmare. Tobena went to wake her up, but she clung tightly to him, and he ended up sleeping beside her in bed. When Dania woke up the next morning, she angrily accused Tobena of taking advantage of her while she was asleep. He was deeply hurt by the accusation and defended himself, saying he would never do such a thing. Then he walked out. Another night, Tobena was sleeping on the couch when Dania asked him to come sleep in the room, but he refused, not wanting to risk any further accusations. He said he was comfortable on the couch and was sure his mother wouldn't mind. One day in the kitchen, Dania was enjoying a warm moment with Tobena's mother. During their conversation, Tobena's mother shared some relationship advice. She explained that when couples are having issues, the best approach is to apologize, especially when one is clearly at fault. After sharing this wisdom, she left, but Dania was left deep in thought, wondering where to begin because everything felt overwhelming. While Tobena was driving Dania to work, she asked him about a job he had applied for, and he told her he didn't get it. Dania tried to suggest ways she could help him, but he dismissed her ideas. What really triggered his reaction was that she had once called him a rapist. Realizing the hurt she caused, Dania apologized and opened up about her own traumatic experience, how she had once been kidnapped, which left lasting emotional scars and shaped the way she behaved. Moved by her honesty, Tobena empathized with her and gently held her hand to comfort her. A few days later, Tobena asked Dania if he could use her laptop to check a job-related email, but no message came in. Feeling defeated, he began speaking negatively about himself and his situation. Unknown to both of them, his mother overheard everything and felt deeply hurt. Just as he was about to tell her the truth about his situation, Dania stepped in and reassured his mother that everything would be fine, promising to stand by him. Tobena was shocked to hear this unexpected support from her. Wow, indeed. Things are getting intense. Let's see what happens next. One day, Tobena's mother decided she wanted to leave because she had been living in Dania's house, depending on her financially, and her conscience wasn't at peace with that. But Dania spoke to her emotionally and helped her see things from a different perspective, convincing her to stay. That night, Dania had another nightmare, and Tobena went in to comfort her. She was grateful for his support. He then told her that his mother's blood pressure had spiked that day, but it had calmed down, thanks to Dania's help. He then complimented her beauty. Dania, touched by his words, leaned in and wanted more, but Tobena pulled back, saying he needed to leave because he might not be able to control himself. Dania insisted and gave herself to him, and they ended up spending the night together. Wow, this just got even more interesting. Who would have thought? But now the big question is, will his mother ever find out the full truth? And what will happen if his ex-girlfriend returns? Let's stay tuned and see how it all unfolds. The next morning, Tobena made breakfast for Dania, now officially his girlfriend. She was initially nervous about her kitchen being in a mess, but he assured her everything was fine. Meanwhile, Dania continued bonding well with Tobena's mother. That same day, Tobena checked his email again using Dania's laptop and to his surprise, discovered he had gotten the job he applied for. Everyone in the house was overjoyed and celebrated together. Weeks later, Tobena insisted on renting the guest room in Dania's apartment. even though they were living together. It seemed strange at first, but he explained his reasons, and Dania eventually understood. He also insisted that his mother return to the village so he and Dania could focus on building their relationship. They agreed and enjoyed their time together as a couple. On the day of his mother's departure, Tobena drove her to the airport. Dania expressed how much she was going to miss her. After saying their goodbyes, the couple left. The next day, when Dania returned from work, she found a beautiful dress waiting for her, a gift from Tobena. They went out for dinner that night. When they got back home, Tobena brought up Dania's obsessive-compulsive tendencies, OCD, expressing concern that her constant worrying could negatively affect their future together. He gently gave her examples and reasons why she should work on it, especially as they were preparing to build a family. Dania listened and agreed with him, and they shared a lovely evening together. The next day at work, Dania and her friends shared some laughs and had a good time. Later that day, when Dania returned home, she found her fiancé, Tobena, preparing a meal. She started to worry again, but this time she calmed herself down, and they ended up enjoying their meal in peace and harmony. That night, Dania told Tobena how much she missed his mother. He promised to do something about it soon. One day, Dania received unexpected news from Esther. Kate and her brother, who was actually Dania's ex-boyfriend, had been caught and sent to jail. Esther was shocked that people go to such criminal lengths just for money. Dania was happy justice had finally been served. Later that same day, when Dania returned home, she was surprised to see Tobena's mother waiting for her. It was a heartwarming moment, and they enjoyed their time together again. This movie teaches us powerful life lessons. No matter how far you fall, rise again. As long as you can breathe, you still have the strength to climb back up. What goes around truly comes around. Treat others how you want to be treated. Be kind, be compassionate, but also know when to set healthy boundaries. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more exciting updates on the latest Nigerian movies. See you next time.